I just want to go home to my kids, officer.
We need to take a minute and really think about this.
I didn't mean to kill him, man. I didn't.
Meet Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Austin Green and Riley Young. Together, these two were involved in a brutal love triangle that left an innocent man dead, a murder they think they can get away with. But what Austin and Riley do not know is that everything was caught on camera.
Specifically, there's a video surveillance system right in front where you guys were at.
I watched some of the video. It shows a little bit different picture of what happened.
And this footage, along with a mountain of evidence, will prove that this killer duo is not as innocent as they pretend to be.
I've been so confused all night. I don't even know what 100% happened.
It looks like I'm a killer. I know what it looks like.
On May 8, 2021, at approximately 3:15 a.m., Monroe County, Michigan Sheriff's deputies were on patrol when they heard a single gunshot around the area of the Pleasantville Mobile Home Community. When they arrived, they found 26-year-old Michael Tripp lying in the street mortally wounded with a gunshot wound, and two potential suspects nearby. They were 21-year-old Austin Jordan Green and 20-year-old Riley Young, and investigators quickly determined they were the prime suspects in what was now officially a homicide. Austin's first brought in for questioning, where he tried his best to spin this story in a way detectives would buy. But it would be an uphill climb, especially considering the irrefutable evidence police had linking both suspects to the crime. The following footage was provided by the Monroe County, Michigan Sheriff's Office.
So Austin, again, my name is Jeff Hooper. I'm a detective with the Sheriff's Office. This is Detective Blair. Okay. I'd like to sit down with you and talk to you about what transpired tonight. Okay. Because there's two sides to every story, and I want to get your side of the story. Okay. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Before we get started, though, I just want to get a little basic information from you. How do you spell your first name?
Austin, A-U-S-T-I-N.
Middle name?
C-O-R-Y-J-O-R-D-A-N-Green.
Just G-R-E-E-N?
Yes, sir.
No E? Now, Austin, based on the circumstances here, obviously, you got put in handcuffs and everything like that. There's certain rules that I have to follow. And in order to talk to you, okay, I have to read you your Miranda rights.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Those are the rules that I have to follow. All right? And I follow the rules. I don't break the rules. Okay? But the only thing that I ask is that you be honest with me. Okay? This is a two-way street here, because you know what? You're going to have questions. I'm going to have questions. Okay? And so it works by both of us talking together.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you give me a rundown of yesterday, start yesterday, in the morning, and how I like to, have people do it is, it's easier to remember, like when you first got up in the morning, what you did, and just go about your day, all right, up until we're here right now.
Well, I mean, I woke up, I started cleaning my house. My baby mama came over, dropped the kids off. We talked for a little bit, and then she ended up leaving.
What's her name?
Riley Young.
Riley Young?
Yes, that's my baby mama.
Okay.
My girlfriend for 3 years. She's not just my baby mama.
Okay.
She came over, dropped the kids off to me because she said she wanted to go to sleep because she didn't feel good. So I was like, okay. So she dropped the kids off. I had my mom come pick them up from my house so I could proceed to go to work for the night. My mom came and got them. I got ready for work. I went to work, and everything was kosher. And probably come around 9:30, 10 o'clock, right about the time I was gonna go on break, Riley messaged me and she was like, "Hey, I want to come over when you come on break so we can talk things out. I want to come home, I want to work this back out. I want to get my family back together." I was like, okay. I'm going to stop at Taco Bell, give me something to eat because I'm hungry. And that was that. I got off probably about 2:31 is when I clocked out. And from there, I took the Dixie Highway exit to 75, took 75 to Netto, went to the Taco Bell on Netto Road, got my food. I actually fell asleep sitting down waiting for my food. I was so tired. And then I went home. I ate my 5-layer, my quesarito, got halfway through my crunch wrap, and then my front window gets smashed in. And I see Michael standing there yelling at me and Riley, calling Riley all types of names and whatnot.
So, who's Michael?
Michael was my best friend for 5 years.
Okay, so Michael's your best friend for 5 years. And then it's you and Riley. Is there anybody else there with you guys?
As of right now, my buddy Brian, he's there on and off just to help with my dogs and stuff when I'm not there. Because like I said, me and my baby mom, we're going through a rough time in our relationship.
What's Brian's last name? Do you know? Okay, so it's you, Riley, Brian. Window gets broken out.
Yeah, we're all sitting there. No, it's at my house.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there on my couch, and he smashes my window out. My first instinct is to grab my gun.
Okay.
I grabbed my gun. I walked outside, and I begged him to leave. I told him I did not want to fight him. I told him I wasn't going to do this at my house because this is where my kids stay. Honest to God, officer, if Riley wouldn't have came over that night, I would have had my kids there in the living room. He would have done that with my kids, and it would have been even worse. And I begged him to leave. She begged him to leave. Brian begged him to leave, but he would not stop. He just kept going and kept running his mouth and kept popping off at the lid. And then he said something along the lines of, I'm just going to burn the trailer down with you and your kids in it. And Riley got mad like any other mom would and started chasing him down the street. So I started chasing her down the street. I go to grab her. He hits her. He hits me. And next thing I know, he's on the ground.
Austin's version of events goes something like this. While sitting around the trailer relaxing with a quesarito, the front window suddenly shattered. The culprit was Michael Tripp, his former best friend who was allegedly in a relationship with Austin's ex. Michael was described by his family as a loyal and caring person who loved music, making people laugh, and having a good time. Now the good times are over, and Austin blames him for it.
I did not mean to do it. I just wanted it to stop. He wouldn't stop. I was just trying to go home and go to bed so I could get my kids. He just kept going. He kept screaming. He just wouldn't stop, man. He was like an animal just got released out of a cage, and he was just going for everybody's head. It's like something inside of him switched, because when it first happened, he wouldn't fight me. He wouldn't get out the car. He wouldn't say a word to me. And then he comes over last night acting like, honestly, like he was on some type of drugs or something. I've known him for 5 years and I've never seen him act like that. And he just kept going and kept going and kept going. Now I'm here.
Okay. So you said that the window got broke. And you said the first thing you did was grab your gun.
Yes.
Okay. What type of gun was it?
It's a Glock 19 Gen 3.
Okay.
30-round clip. It's legal. It's all in my name.
Okay. Where was that at inside the trailer?
It was sitting on my little TV table right next to my couch.
Okay. So it's sitting on a table or on your couch, near your couch. Okay. Hear that? You grab the gun. You go to the door. What are Riley and Brian doing at this time?
At this time, they're still stuck trying to figure out what happened, because he's just standing there yelling.
Okay, so basically, I saw the trailer. So he's like yelling in through the open window.
Yes.
And so then you go to the door.
I go to the door and I try to get him to leave, because, like I said, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I have neighbors who have kids too, man. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to fight him. I didn't.
So So you're standing, in the doorway in your house?
Yes.
Okay, like just shouting through the screen?
Yes.
And where's he at?
He was down by the foot of my porch.
Okay, so he's down on the concrete, all right, and you two are shouting back and forth.
Yes, he got into my face multiple times, and I begged him to please go.
So you're telling him you need to leave?
Yes.
You need to leave.
I did.
Now, is the gun in your hand? Is it in your waistband?
The gun was up in my hand. I don't have my CPL, so I don't hide it. Everybody knows that.
Okay. Did he know that you had a gun?
Yes.
What did he say about that?
He told me to shoot him. He told me put a bullet in his head. I told him I didn't want to do that. I told him I didn't want to multiple times.
Okay. And so then when he's outside, let me take you back a little bit. So you said you and Michael have been friends for 5 years. You're best friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And so does Michael own any guns?
No.
No? Okay. Does Brian own any guns?
No.
Riley?
No.
But you have 3.
Yes.
Okay, you got the Ruger.
Yes, I have a Ruger, a Barricade BMR9, which is a AR-15 type style pistol rifle, and then I have my Glock 19.
Okay, all right. So Michael shows up. He is John with you, telling you to put a bullet in his head. Why all this anger? I mean, if you guys were friends.
Okay, well, it wasn't even him. My baby mama has a problem with drugs and a past with drugs. And she ended up relapsing and going and sleeping with him. And
like you say, sleep like having.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as any guy would be, I was heated. I was beyond pissed. But I didn't take it anything further than that because I have my kids, and I know that if I were, they wouldn't have me, and I am the only stability that they have in their life.
So Riley relapsed. What drugs does she use?
I can't tell you exactly because I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't around when she did it. So it's just kind of hearsay, I guess, in that sense. But she came home and she was supposed to be over at her mom's, who only was like 2 streets down from me. And I guess Michael either walked or had someone bring him. He showed up to her mom's house and he didn't answer.
When was this?
It had to have been last night before he showed up at my house.
Okay.
Because there was no other place that she would have gone. But I don't know exactly how he got there. All I know is that I begged him to stop and I begged him to leave. I told him I didn't want to fight him. I told him I didn't want any problems. I told him I just wanted him to go away and drop the situation because it wasn't worth any of this.
So Austin, you said you don't have a CPL?
No, sir.
Okay.
I do have my licenses for all my pistols, though.
Okay. All right. How long have you had those weapons?
About 2.5 months.
2.5 months. You shot them frequently?
Yeah, I take them up to towers out in Toledo, work on my aim out there.
Okay.
I'm not like one of these kids out here just flashing all their guns and shit like that. I got it for protection because all the shootings that happened in downtown Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
I know how people in this town are, so I got it for my own personal protection for my family. Because I'm not gonna go out I'm not just gonna go out like I'm sorry, I'm not. But I'm not gonna let my family's life be in jeopardy. Somebody else has a gun and I don't, I wasn't pointing the gun in his face. I wasn't waving it at him, making it known that I had it. I walked outside with it and I asked him to leave, and that was it. And he kept going and he kept going and he kept going. I wasn't sitting here saying, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot you," and da 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 da. I wasn't. I was asking him to leave my premises. I was asking him to drop the situation and leave, and he would not.
The jumbled reasoning behind this senseless murder suddenly becomes clear, and it's all because of a bitter love triangle between Austin, Riley, and the now deceased Matthew. But while Austin claims Matthew's refusal to leave and threatening behavior all but forced his finger to pull the trigger, he might want to rethink this story, because the detective knows this isn't true and is about to call him out on it.
But at some point, he does leave.
Yes. So he walked off, and then Riley chased after him.
Why is she chasing after him?
Because he said he was going to in the trailer with my kids in it.
Okay. Did you call 911?
Right after I did it, yeah.
Okay.
Right after. That was my first reaction, dude. I pulled the trigger, and I grabbed my phone, and I called 911, and nobody answered. So I called my mom, and I told her that I'm sorry, and then the bigger cop who was across the street was the first one there. I put my Glock on my porch, and I walked to him with my hands up, and I got down on the ground, and I complied as I could. Because I'm not trying to go to jail, man. I'm trying to go home to my kids. I really am.
So, Kayla, or I'm sorry, her name's slipping me.
Riley.
I'm sorry. Thank you. So Riley ends up chasing after him. Does she have anything? I mean,
Not that I seen.
did she have a gun?
No, I don't let anybody touch my stuff.
Okay.
Like I am so anal about my guns because anything can happen. Guns are not toys. Accidents can happen. Guns can go off. My Glock doesn't have a safety, and I have kids, so like I take care of my stuff. I keep it put up. I keep it safe where it needs to be. When I'm not using it, it's put up, and it's put up.
Well, they don't accidentally go off. There has to be some sort of manipulation of the firearm to make it go off.
I just know that accidents do happen, so I tried my best to prevent that from happening by keeping them put up
and not pointing them at anybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because you don't want an accident to happen.
Yeah, no, I don't.
And that's the number one rule of gun safety. Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction.
If you see the inside of my house, man, it looks like I own a daycare. I'm not a killer. I'm not violent, man. I'm a family man.
All right, so Riley's chasing after him down the street. And you go after Riley. Is there some sort of interaction down there? What transpires?
All I know is that I went to go grab her, and then he started swinging. That's all I know.
Okay. Was she trying to assault him?
I don't know. Riley has a temper and likes to do that type of stuff. That's why I went down there to grab her to stop that from happening. And as soon as my hands touched her, he started swinging.
Okay.
Like there wasn't any hesitation. There wasn't any second guess. As soon as I grabbed her, he hit her and then he hit me.
Okay. So he hit you. What? I mean, are you guys standing close?
Yeah, like we were probably about this far away from each other. I went to go grab Riley. I turned my head. She says, "Ow," and then the next thing I know, I can't feel my face, dude.
Okay.
Like he literally socked me as hard as he could, and I was seeing stars, officer.
Okay. So he punches you in the face.
Yes, he hit me first. He broke through my window. He assaulted me.
Okay, so he hits you in the face, and then at this point you said that you had the gun in your hand?
Yes.
And what do you do from there? So you raised the gun up? How close were you? From me to you away?
Probably about from me to him.
Okay. After he struck you once in the face with his fist?
Yeah, he hit me. I stumbled back, regained my consciousness as much as I could.
Did he say anything?
No. He didn't. It wasn't him. It was something else, man. He wasn't. I've known him for 5 years. I've never seen him like that, man. It scared me. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared for my life, dude, because he wouldn't stop.
Okay. So, when you go down there, all right, you're trying to break him and Riley up.
Yes, I was trying to de-escalate the situation as much as I could.
Okay. And so then he sacks you once. All right. So you seem like a gentleman who's been, around the block a little bit. And have you ever been in trouble before?
No,
I mean, been in minor little scrapes before?
I've been in fights, but nothing like this. No, this is something completely different.
Yeah. And so, in those previous fights,
I wasn't scared for my life, officer. I wasn't scared for me and somebody else's well-being at the time. When I was in school, those were just school fights. I was legitimately scared for me and Riley's life because he looked like he was ready to kill both of us.
Despite being the only one armed, Austin repeatedly claims he was in fear for both his and Riley's lives. A case of self-defense may prove difficult, considering they chased Michael down the street after the initial altercation. But while Austin claims Michael hit Riley, Riley's own interview provides a slightly different version of events. Will she feel that lethal force was the only option?
He swung on me, Austin grabbed him, and he hit Austin. And when he hit Austin,
Did you get hit?
I kinda not really. His hand just kinda like went like this. It didn't hurt me. But it sure enough did scare me because he swung on me and his hand did like, it hit, just not as hard as he wanted it to.
He grazed you.
Yeah.
Swung and missed, or
Swung and
grazed
almost, yeah. So Austin grabbed him when he saw him hit me. And he hit Austin in the mouth. When he hit Austin in the mouth, I turned my head away.
So Austin grabbed him.
Austin grabbed him off of me, and then he hit Austin in the face. And then I turned my head, and then I just kind of heard the gunshot.
I kind of want your opinion here. Take out the relationships and all of that. Do you think that being shot in this situation was the appropriate action to handle here?
Yeah. Maybe not in the face, but yeah,
Well, why?
because he hit me.
Okay.
Guys don't hit females. I don't hit guys.
But now was Michael armed? Does he carry a knife normally? A gun on him?
He does carry knives. He has scared the shit out of me with his knives, and I took one of his knives and threw it away because he was scaring me with it. He carries knives. He used to carry a pair of knuckles.
But he didn't have any of those?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
But you didn't, there was no clear,
No, not in this.
you said he punched him, so there was nothing in his hands, nothing out.
He didn't have any weapons on him though, right? No?
Not that I know of anyways.
Okay. Now, from gathering statements from people, I understand that, I've heard that Riley and him had a sexual relationship recently, and that kind of put a rift between you and him and you and Riley.
Yes, but I wasn't taking it any farther than that.
Okay.
I was worried about my kids.
I'm trying to get like the whole story here, Austin, and I hope you understand that.
I do. I'm trying to be as good as I can.
I know, a lot of people your age are on social media and stuff like that. Did he make any threats beforehand that, I'm going to beat your ass, I'm going to show up at your house? No? Anything like that? When was the last time you communicated with him prior to?
The day everything happened, I told him that since he didn't want to fight me, all of his new girlfriend's shit was outside my house. He could come pick it up, and he could never speak to me again. And that was the last thing I said to him. And so
when was that?
That was about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. You said he didn't want to fight you.
No, he was sitting in Riley's car. He wouldn't get out of her car. He wouldn't do anything. He just sat there.
Which car is Riley's?
The Mustang.
Mustang? And then the Honda's yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the Honda's yours, Mustang's Riley. So he's sitting in Riley's car. And this is right after the fact that
I found out she was sleeping with him, yes.
Okay. So, at that point, 2 weeks ago, you basically call him out and say, hey, let's do this.
If you're man enough to screw somebody, screw somebody's girlfriend, you call your brother. You should be man enough to throw the ones. I've been raised like that my entire life, man.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yeah, that was the last time I saw him. That was the last
There
time.
was no communication between?
No, sir.
What about between him and Riley?
They talked all the time, and from what I know, they were together. But as of last night, she told me she was done with him. She told me she blocked him on everything. And
what's everything? There's so many social media platforms out there.
either Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know, man. She has so many things on her phone. It's retarded.
Yeah. All right, so, and you didn't communicate with them
No, sir.
via text message, phone calls?
No, sir.
Anything along those lines?
No, sir. I cut ties because my family was more important. I wasn't going to sit here and work myself up over it.
2 weeks ago, I mean, roundabout, when was that? I mean, you said it was it in the evening time? Did the police get called or anything like that? I mean, for a disturbance or?
No, the police didn't get called. Me and Riley fight a lot. We've both been through a lot of stuff in our lives. We're both really hard-headed. So, like, when we butt heads, but we've always come back together harder and stronger than we did before. So my neighbors don't really call the cops, and then her mom was there, and my kids were there, and there was just, my mom was there. There was a lot of people there just trying to de-escalate the situation because everything was crazy. She was trying to get her shit. I was throwing her shit. It was all wild.
Has Michael ever been in trouble before?
I couldn't tell you.
I know
Riley, I know she had trouble in her past, but since she's been with me, she's been doing good. I've kept her on the straight and narrow, done everything I could to help her. I don't know about though. Before he moved up here, I don't know what he did down there.
Okay. Where did he move up here from?
I think Florida.
All right. And you guys have been friends, you said 5 years?
He was the first one to hold my daughter. And me and him, we were friends. I loved him like a brother, man. I fed him, clothed him, got him a job. Anytime he needed anything, I let him do it. He needed to come over to my house, take a shower, I let him do it. He needed some of my clothes to wear, I let him wear them. I got nothing for love. Nothing but love for him. That's why I was trying to de-escalate the situation.
Austin details a problematic past between he and Riley, which combined with her alleged drug use, drove her into his ex-friend's arms. Michael and he weren't only close though, they were like brothers. And for Austin, sleeping with another man's girl is the ultimate stab in the back. But it takes two to tango, and if Riley hadn't chased Michael up the street, there's a chance this entire tragedy could have been avoided. And some new evidence just came to light that cast serious doubt on their entire defense.
Now you said Riley's a little hot-headed.
Yes.
And so, was she not trying to de-escalate the situation?
No, I was just trying to get her to go home. But you know how a mom gets when somebody threatens their kids, they're going to do what they can to protect them. I was just trying to grab her away, and then I touched her, and the next thing I know, I'm seeing stars.
All right, so he punches you, then step back a few steps, raise the gun and shoot him. And then you call 911?
Yes, sir.
From that cell phone out there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you didn't talk to anybody?
Nobody answered. Like, literally, I called, I waited for it to ring, and then I seen a patrol car coming out of the gas station pulling in. Put my gun down, put my arms up, and walked towards the officer and explained to the officer that I am not armed. I am fully in compliance with anything you guys need to say and or do to me. I will not fight you. I'm not trying to get shot, man. I don't want to get shot by a cop because of a misunderstanding. So I did what I thought was right.
Coming back a little bit, the phone that you had on you, you called 911 on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did it dial?
I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, my phone works.
Okay. So, like I said, some of my partners just got back, and there's video surveillance. Were you aware of that? Before we get into the video surveillance, do you know how Michael broke the window? Did a rock punched it? It didn't seem like very thick glass to where basically if somebody goes like that, it might break.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was literally taking a bite of my food and I looked up.
That's what it looked like. So in watching the video surveillance, some of this video surveillance has audio with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you know, I'm watching this video surveillance, and the things that you're telling me, a lot of it adds up, right? But there are a few things that aren't. Okay. Like Michael was leaving.
I didn't know he was leaving.
Michael was walking away
He
from.
was walking in the direction of Riley's mom's house where her little brother was.
So he's walking away, and passes that area, and Riley chases him down. Okay. Right. So Riley's chasing him down, and she starts swinging on him something fierce, and she's going to town. All right. And at this point, I see you coming up. Okay. You got the gun in your hand. All right. But he's backed up against a car. He can't go anywhere.
He was in the middle of the street, officer.
At that point, or at a little bit later point. But he's backing up. All right. And then, all right, you know, she breaks away a little bit. And you come toe to toe with him. And you guys are in the middle of the street, not by the car, in the middle of the street. You guys are toe to toe. Almost like chest bumping. We're squawking at each other.
Yeah, we were yelling at each other, but I wasn't getting in his face. I was trying to get Riley to leave him alone and go home, man.
And I'm going off of,
I know.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm interpreting. And like I said, you know, a lot of the stuff you're telling me adds up. But when I see stuff like that, I have to interpret it a different way. And so, I mean, you guys come toe to toe and you're squawking at each other. All right. And, you know, he takes a pop at you. All right. And then you raise the gun up. Boom. Right in the head, right in the face. All right. And see, here's what I'm thinking. Just, you know, watching that video, Austin, okay, here's the thing, right? At that point, okay, why did you decide to use your firearm?
It just didn't register at the time. I was scared and I acted.
I mean, because you told me that you've been in fights before, okay? And here's the thing: we've all been in fights before, okay? You know, Detective Blair, myself, we've all been in fist fights before, all right? But at this point, right, you know, it rose to a level of where you introduced a firearm to, you know, a basic fight. And let me hear me out, because I have seen this quite a bit. I've sat down with quite a few people, you know, been in your situation. I talked to them, all right? And I know that there are good people out there, and you seem like a good family man.
I just want to go home to my kids, officer.
Right. And I think at that point there was a level that had risen up in you, okay, that you just wanted this to stop. You just, you know what, Michael, you know what, he had with your girlfriend.
I didn't mean to kill him, man. I didn't.
And you just wanted him to stop and be out of your life. All right.
I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't mean to.
But when you raise a gun up, you said you know gun safety, right?
Yeah, I do.
And so you can agree with me that, I mean, by you in Riley chasing down the street after him as he's trying to flee, all right, that's right at that point. There's no threat to you or Riley or your family or your home. There's no threat at that point. There's no immediate and imminent threat there. And so there's only one thing that I can think of, is that it's just in you you've been dealing with this for 2 weeks, all right? He slept with your wife, and now he's coming back around to, bother you and your wife. Just want it to be, listen, be done with it. All right? It's just something in that momentary 1 second. Because afterwards, you stand over him, look at him, several seconds. Did you say anything?
Oh, I didn't know what to do.
And then you slowly walk away.
I went to go call 911.
Okay. And so I'm just saying what we see in the video, and I'm trying to enhance the audio right now.
It looks like I'm a killer. I know what it looks like.
The entire incident being caught on surveillance footage came as quite a shock to Austin, especially considering it contradicts the main tenet of the defense, that Riley chased after Michael because she thought he was going to her mother's house. And while Austin may not have accepted his fate completely, it seems like he's getting there. But how will Riley react to hearing that everything was caught on video?
So I watched some of the video. It shows a little bit different picture of what happened. I want you to think back. Take a second and think back, because what the accounts of what happened are different than what you're telling me. And right now, problem is our one chance to talk about this and get this all figured out. And right now, in your benefit, being honest and cooperative, no matter, it is the only thing in your favor right now. Is telling me the truth about what happened. Don't even think about Austin, and don't even think about Michael right now. Think about you. And if something was going on with you and Michael before, where you guys are arguing, whatever, doesn't involve the shooting part. I just need to know what happened up until then, because everything's not completely matching up there.
I went to hit him with a bong and I missed.
When?
While we were up at the front, when he grabbed me, I went to
Why do you tell me that?
because I didn't hit him.
So,
I mean, if I would have connected with him, I would have said something, but I didn't hit him. It hit the ground.
so you were taking your bomb. What kind of bomb? Water bomb?
Yeah.
Big,
I was
little,
just
that size?
about this big. It was in my hand when I walked out. I'm walking and he's going, and I was mad, and he's yelling, and he said he was going to hit his house down. It was in my hand.
Hit you off.
I went to throw it. I didn't hit him.
Did you throw it or just try to hit him with it?
One time I went to hit him and I stopped myself and put it back down. We kept walking, and then I went to hit him again and I put it back down. And the last time I went to it, I just kind of tossed it because I'm not violent.
No, I don't think so at all.
I'm not a violent person. I never have been. I don't like violence, but.
While a bong may not be considered a deadly weapon, it could certainly do some damage. But what Austin was packing was far more lethal, and as any responsible gun owner knows, you never pull a gun unless you plan on using it.
Why didn't you leave the gun at home? Did you want to scare him?
That was my main thing. Yeah, I just wanted him to go. I wanted him to stop. I wanted Riley to stop. I don't have my guns to hurt people. I got them to protect and keep shit away from my family. That's it. I'm not a killer, dude. I'm not. I'm a family man. I got 2 kids. God, I'm sorry, kid. I'm going to jail, aren't I? Be honest with me, I'm going to jail, aren't I?
Yes.
Is there anything I can do? How long am I going to go to jail? How much of my kid's life am I going to miss?
That's not for us to determine, okay? We are the gatherer of the facts and the evidence. That's what we do, okay? Detective Blair, myself, my partners, we gather evidence, and then we give it to the prosecutor, and they look at the case and they decide, whether charges are appropriate or not, okay? And so that's why, this isn't like, you didn't lure him over there, did you?
No.
You didn't call him, you didn't have, so you didn't lure him over there.
No, dude, I literally got off work and went home.
He just showed up.
Yes.
All right. And what I'm taking from it is, I take everything and I put it into one basket. I analyze it. And I'm going through this. I'm looking, listen, you're a good family man. Okay. However, this guy hit your wife. All right. You cut him off 2 weeks ago and then he shows back up. All right. You're still pissed at him, but you're just trying to chase him off.
Yes.
You're trying to chase him off.
Yes.
Okay. And then when he hits you, in that moment, it's just, this guy has been a problem, right? And not even thinking about it. It's just a reaction. Boom. I mean, is that honest and fair to say?
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
it was not my intention to cause him any harm.
But you didn't lure him there. But in that minute or in that second, right there after he hits you, okay, I get it. I get pissed. I get pissed when somebody hits me. All right, I get it.
It's not even that he just hit you or that he came over and broke your window, but this is your best friend for 5 years. You say brother.
Yeah.
This is a betrayal beyond any comparison. That he would do this to you. That he would sleep with your girlfriend.
I wasn't even worried about that.
No, but it's still.
Yes,
it would stick in your craw, right?
It was an underlying factor and it has been, but it wasn't something that I was willing to act on because I wanted my kids. Riley told me if I touched him, if I did anything, that I would go about losing my kids, and I wasn't going to do that. So I stood my ground, took that shit to the chin like a man, and held my shit for 2 weeks. I didn't say shit. I didn't talk to him. I didn't do nothing.
But those emotions, they bottled up, and they fester. And I don't blame you one bit for being angry with him. And you chose not to do anything. But I think that just, the cork popped on that bottle, and it came up.
Kind of bullheaded, hot-headed yourself, and so sometimes our emotions get the best of us, and we make snap decisions based off of those emotions. Can we say that that's what happened here? A snap decision, not well thought out, and just a snap decision like that of anger, and this happened.
Yes.
You would agree with me there.
It was not premeditated in any way, shape, or form. No, sir.
But you let your anger get the best of you, like my partner said. Those bottled up actions, bottled up thoughts. Right?
Yes.
So, Austin, before we conclude here today, we have a search warrant to where we are going to collect your DNA, okay? And then also your clothing.
Okay.
Okay, but we'll do that down when we go to our intake area.
So I'm going to jail today.
You are going to jail today. All right, what's going to happen is we're going to author a report, and the report goes to the prosecutor. The prosecutor then will look at the report and decide what happens from there. Okay, so it's not us in a charging decision or anything like that, but we're just the fact finders. We take in all the evidence, we present it to somebody else, and they decide what happens.
I'm going to be sitting in jail all weekend.
I'm not sure. I can't tell you one way or the other because we have to give our investigation to somebody else.
Is there any way I can see my family before I go? Or is that not applicable?
Let me go out and talk to my sergeant. I'll get the swab for the DNA, okay? And then we'll be right back in. Okay? All right.
Fuck, man.
With enough video evidence and witness testimony to put Austin away for decades, one thing's for sure. If we were in his situation, we'd be crying too. Austin Green Jordan pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to a minimum of 30 years in prison. Riley Young pleaded guilty to felonious assault and was sentenced to 1 year in jail and 3 years on probation.